We got to see some official NBA minutes from the #1 pick in the draft in Cooper Flagg, and I gotta say, I am completely impressed. Now, we knew about his exploits at Duke, and I had heard he was handing it to Team USA in practices last summer, and I expect a lot from him this season. Let's go through the game as it unfolded to find out why. Off the bat, he's a selfless player, great passer, great decision maker, and fires the one more pass to create a wide open three-pointer to one of the best shooters of all time. Now watch him on defense. As he's getting back in position on the weak side, you'll see him raise his arm and call out the coverage, letting AD know he's got to guard Cason Wallace for the time being. And that's okay for the Dallas team defense since Flagg is a rim protector with serious hops. He could have easily sent this shot into the stands and allowed OKC another possession, but he smartly knocks it off the backboard, which enables D'Lo to grab it and go, and that was important because it allowed another highlight play in transition as AD oops the alley from Russell. The Mavericks ranked second to last in passes per game last year, but you'll notice a huge difference with their offense as the ball continually hums around the perimeter, keeping the defense a step behind. He attacks on the catch right into the lane, keeps his head up as he draws the help to him and shovels this gorgeous feed to Lively for the easy dunk. Notice that they have him guarding guards despite being 6'9". He's that athletic and mobile to handle it, as we'll see in a minute. He's not easily screened off, and Lively will learn he doesn't have to help this much since it left a decent shooter an open shot. A rookie who already has the trust from vets like Anthony Davis is an impressive thing. Watch how AD turns down a high post attack to skip it to Flagg in the corner. Now watch how his baseline drive forces AD's man into the paint to help. Flagg makes the right read to the corner and gets the hockey assist when no one helps the helper on the wide open three-pointer. We saw the Knicks run this same handoff exchange across the top to initiate their offense, and I love how they can weave to Flagg at the wing. He should have probed deeper into the middle here. He could have lured D'Lo's man to the ball and skipped it to D'Lo for an open corner three. Instead, the offense can't mount another attack as he doesn't recognize the shot clock is winding down until it's too late. I want you to recognize how versatile he is on defense, where he can guard all 5 positions as he switches off their power forward onto their shooting guard, denies the pass to him perfectly, and they just need to get on the same page with more familiarity on handoffs so they won't get stuck in this blender. Flagg shouldn't be helping one pass away on the drive here. Help should be coming from AD on the weak side. As a result, OKC lights it up. I always love a big man that can grab a board and push the ball up himself, so watch for this to happen 5 times a game. When it reverses back to him, he's under control, recognizes the potential advantage, nice little hezzy cross swivel, but watch how he gets his nose in front of his toes, a big no-no, as his head is now a 30-pound weight dragging him towards the floor. He recovers his balance, but is now stuck in the lane with no dribble and heavily guarded. It would have been cool if he could have somehow snuck a pass to Dwight Powell, but I like his solution, which generated an open shot that barely misses. Here's a play they run for him to get a low post touch, although Clay treats it more like a pin down for him. Either way, it gets good position, and with a size advantage like this, he's got to turn over his left shoulder and let this jumper fly. Instead, they have to settle for this tough one in the corner. More cleanup of the 2-man game defense. This time, both defenders jump to the ball, leaving an open pick and pop. I have no doubt this will get better after 10 games or so. The Mavericks should not be afraid of just switching him onto the ball in pick-and-roll situations. He's tall, and with a 7-foot wingspan, even if he gets beat by a step, he can bother the shot up top into a miss. Watch how he brings the ball up, never turning his back on his man so he can maintain vision of the floor with a nice behind-the-back move. Kid can create lineups that force their opponents to put a guard on him, just like you can create lineups with an opportunity to win money on Prize Picks, the best way to play daily fantasy for tons of sports. Here's what I have for today's games, and you can turn your lineups into real money by simply choosing more or less on their projected stats. It makes these games even more fun to watch, and I know me and my son are going to be cheering on the Chargers all afternoon. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. You want to pick more on Jared Goff's pass yards, completions, and fantasy score? Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup only on Prize Picks. Follow me on the app so you can just copy my lineups, something you'll benefit from during basketball season. Best of all, download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. With a smaller guard on him, he'll just go right to the post. But this is the special sauce. He sees 3 defenders on him and then dumps off the pass to the open man for the easy dunk. More pick and roll defense, and I'm anxious to see him switch on to the Currys and the Maxis and the Reeves of the league, and it looks like he's got the chops to defend them. Just check his speed in the open court. Wallace is one of the faster players in the league, and he catches up to him, jumps out to stop a drive from the wing, then switches back onto the ball after the step-up screen, and contains the speedy guard in isolation and contests the pull-up midi into a miss. This Dallas team will be elite defensively, and Flagg will be one of its anchors. Another example of a coast-to-coast attack, which really helps his teammates get out in the open court and fill lanes, knowing he can see over his smaller defenders, and check the perfect lead pass to PJ Washington for the strong finish and an assist on the and one. One-and-done rookies simply don't play with this kind of feel so early in their careers unless their name is LeBron or Luka. You also don't see a player this young under so much control, knowing when to burst into full speed off the dribble, and his finishing around the rim isn't just powerful dunks when he's clear, but he's got crafty up and under finishes with touch. He shows the ball to get the help defender in the air and then dips the ball down and around to avoid the block and bank it in softly. Here's where it got exciting for me as he assumes the primary ball handler role midway through the second quarter. He didn't take a ton of threes in college, but shot a good clip even though I felt his rhythm wasn't optimal as the ball would start swinging up a little early. But he made 2 of these last night utilizing the hop, when both feet come off the floor and then land together with one sound before springing off of the floor. Optimal rhythm is built in with the hop, and I was curious to see if he used it in college at all. I charted his last 50 threes, and he shot 7 hop shots, and made 5. I hope he noticed this and will continue to groove it. I have no doubt he'll be very capable from back there if he does. His favorite way to get to the basket is with the spin move, and he broke it out in the middle of the drive from the left wing. He could clean up the footwork on the attack on the catch to get even more explosive, but once his man runs to cut him off, he's excellent at spinning back to the baseline where they're forced to foul him to prevent an easy layup. It's a tremendous advantage for Jason Kidd to be able to throw him on a guard and know he can shut his man down. But it's not just how he defends on ball with his length and quickness. Watch how he positions himself on the weak side to deny the ball. You don't see guys do this too much, and it directly leads to the turnover when Dieng throws it out of bounds. On this inside pick and roll, I'd love to see him a little bit more aggressive with this type of advantage. If he could get one more dribble to the basket, he'd draw multiple defenders, and then if Lively set a good pin down, Clay would be even more open, the pass would be at a more optimal angle from the basket area, and perhaps he would have earned an assist. On the way back down, here he is quarterbacking the defense to make sure everyone is guarding a man, and on the switch off the handoff, he does an excellent job cutting off 4-year college player Brooks Barnhizer, who tries to knock him back on his heels unsuccessfully. Great contest of a very low percentage shot, but credit Brooks for hitting it anyway. And Cooper gets him back on the next play when he gets a quick screen from Anthony Davis and hops again into a 3 and drops it straight into the basket. More deference from a perennial all-star when he gets the mismatch, goes to the post, and is then told by AD to get back there for another chance. Unfortunately, AD's pass was bad. On this delay action into handoff, I'd like to see Flagg utilize the entire open side of the floor here to get into the paint. Instead, he picks up his dribble too early. But another high IQ play to cut back door, and he did flash open, but AD throws another errant pass that could have turned into an easy score for the Mavs. And he finished his night with another mismatch down low. I have no problem with the simple turnaround over the smaller guard, and I'm confident he'll hit his share of these shots. We don't often see true rookies come in this polished and ready to go at the NBA level, which is why he'll easily win the Rookie of the Year award, but more importantly, he's a vital piece to a talented club that, when fully healthy, can compete for a title this year. That's right, I said it, and I mean it.